Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. This week's video, I wanted to share how I pick curriculum for my autistic son. Now, you will probably, if you are in the world of homeschooling, you will know that there are a plethora of different homeschool curriculum to choose from, but not a lot specific to autism. And that's okay. I think those things are probably coming in the works from probably moms like you and I. I am not planning on writing any for a while, but I know that that's a possibility in the future that I might take on just because I have noticed a vacuum in that area. But a lot of I think I was going to share like the steps that I take or have fallen into as I have looked for, and I made some doozers of mistakes, like awesome mistakes, simply because I had no idea. I had no idea about the homeschool world. I had no idea about curriculum. A lot of the curriculum that I chose, was just for me initially watching YouTube videos and going, okay, I need a curriculum. Where can I find a curriculum? What can I pick? And and then by the grace of God, he has been showing me step by step some of the ones that I could pick. And they're always evolving, ever changing, that sort of thing. So I'm hoping by making this video that I will save you from making some of the blunders that I did. So the number one thing that number one step that I would do would be assess your child's abilities. Now, this doesn't mean that you are looking at them with a critical eye. It's more like, are they students that like to write, for instance? So that was a big issue for me because originally he was okay with doing more writing, but then that changed and he is absolutely not willing to do more writing this time or at this time. And so when your child's wishes and desires are changing and evolving, it can be a little bit more difficult, right? So you need to assess your child's abilities and needs right now. And so for Darian, there was a lot of trying to figure out what was going to be the best for him, and then adjust. And I think I've said this before. When you get a curriculum that comes into your house, you can do trial runs, and then you go, is this working for them or is it not? And then adjust and adjust and adjust. And then when you think you got it, you might have to adjust again. And that's not a bad thing, but it is a key component to homeschooling an autistic child. In my experience, I have adjusted so many curriculums to fit my son's needs. So let's talk about math, for instance. So when I first picked the math curriculum that we still do, it's something we haven't, not for my autistic son, but I've used for all of my children. But when I first picked a curriculum for Darian, it was on the recommendation of my homeschool facilitator. And she was the one who said, look into Math UC because it is very physical. There are physical manipulatives to help you see math. To understand it, to figure it out. When you grab 3 groups of 5, you can actually see what that looks like because you can touch it, you can feel it. And so that was a big selling point for me because I knew, without being able to have him communicate back to me that he understood the concepts, I needed to actually be able to see it for myself, and be able to direct him in that way. Darian, what you doing? He's just laying his head on our bookshelf, and I'm like, So that's a big thing. And then he went from doing the pages to me putting it on the computer and him typing the lesson out with his tongue. adjust, adjust, adjust. And then it got to the place where we were just like, he was fighting me on it, even though he was having fun with it. It was taking us an exorbitant amount of time. And I just got to a place where I'm like, I don't know if he's really completely understanding, or if we're fighting this or whatever. And so I adjusted the curriculum to fit him, and I found a curriculum. I'll leave the link down below to a free money one. So it was about buying candies, and it's figuring out what the value of these coins are and the bills are. And I really just feel like that is setting him up for, instead of going down the school route, which was he needs to learn how to add and divide, or add, subtract, multiply, divide, and then algebra, and like all of those things, like that ladder. Instead of following that ladder, I needed to shift to a ladder of, what does my son need for life? And it took me a while, admittedly, it took me a while to get to the point where I felt comfortable enough to get off of that ladder. Because I really, again, you're like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to like limit him. But at the same time, if you are finding yourself doing less and less math because you know it's going to be a fight, it's time to shift. So that was a big one that we shift. Now, for all of his other subjects, I have been really loving unit studies for him. Now, there's going to be a few different changes, but a lot of it is adjusting to the things that he is interested in. So, for instance, we did space this last year. He loves space. There are some lessons that we didn't do, and then there were other lessons that we did. And I really appreciated being able to do those things for him. And then next year, I'm thinking we're going to do a bug unit. We've also done some social studies where he's done map work, where I've made him a map of the continent that we've studied, and he will build, and he loves learning about the flags and being able to link those flags together with the countries. And so things like that has been wonderful to be able to, intermix those two, but you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to adjust to what their needs are. So Gather Round Homeschool I found to be super flexible because I could teach my girls. I don't teach Darian and my girls at the same time. He needs way more focus than I can with the other two. And the girls will hear all of the lesson. With Darian, I don't. So that's the big thing, is making it fit for you and your family and what your child needs. So step 2, if you didn't catch it, is adjust. Whatever curriculum you get, whatever you pick, whatever you think may or may not work, you just feel free to adjust to fit whatever you want. As far as curriculum that's specific to autism or special needs, this is where I would say it really, really, really depends on the mama and her relationship to how much time she's able to put into it. This has changed drastically for me over the years, so I don't really have any like solid things, but I will say for autism specifically, I continue to love and continue to do the Autism Treatment Center, the Sunrise program with my son. There are times where I have been all in and I've pushed and we're in the playroom all the time. And as the years gone on and I took my girls home, the amount that I've been able to put into that has shrunk, absolutely. But we use the Sunrise principles every day in our everything. We use it in everything. So that's something that we've used. And then I've more recently, thanks to Living with Eve with Miss Leilani, I have gotten into a curriculum that was especially designed for children with Down syndrome, but I have been finding the principles of it to be really good. It's called So Happy to Learn, I believe. I will leave a link down below. And I've just been taking what I've seen from the free stuff that they have offered and adjusting it to Darian's interests and the things that he likes to do. And doing that with him has been a huge joy and help, and he doesn't fight me on it at all. He is happy to learn. So there's a few things that I'm looking into on that front. So the third step, and it's the third step, and it's the most important step, I think, is to pray if you are a believer in God and ask Him to guide your choices, guide your research, because there's so many things out there, and there's so many things that, especially for my family, we don't have a lot of extra money to share or to try all of the things to find the one that will work. And so the math curriculum, that was a God thing, and the Sunrise program was a God thing as well. And so and Miss Leilani sharing So Happy to Learn, because I was getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know what to do with him anymore, because he has a sensory issue with holding a pencil, and so there's only so much writing ability that he's able to do. So stay tuned for more videos about homeschooling as the summer progresses. I'm going to be planning how I'm going to integrate the Sunrise program, So Happy to Learn, Gather Around Homeschool, and the things that he is specific. Oh, it's campfire curriculum, the Titanic unit. He loves everything to do with the Titanic. And so I'm trying to like amalgamate all of these different curriculums to fit my son's very specific special needs. And I hope that you will hang along. If you are not subscribed, and hit the bell button and like and do all of the things. But that's going to be a project over the summer that I really try and focus a little bit more on. My eldest daughter is getting a little bit more independent. My youngest is still needing me a lot. So it's just trying to find that right balance. I joke about, Xeroxing myself. And so then I would actually have all the time for all of the things. But I'm just so thankful that we don't do this job alone. Homeschooling our special needs children, taking care of our special needs children can be a heavy thing sometimes. And it's always lovely to remember that we're not doing it alone, that God, our Father, knows our children better than we do. And so we can rely on Him to guide our computer typing fingers and the little mouse that we're clicking on and the videos that we might watch, and help us to guide us to what we need in that moment to take care of our kids in the best way possible. And I've heard, he's the best mentor we can ever have. I've said he's the best EA that I could ever ask for. And all of those things are true. And it's so hard sometimes to remember that. But I hope that this encourages you. I hope that this helps you kind of give a framework for, because some things can just look shiny and pretty. And then you think, well, maybe that'll work. But I'm just so thankful that, He gave us our special kids. And that means that He will not abandon us. He will not leave us, especially if we seek Him. He will show us the way. I hope that helps. I hope that encourages you. We will talk to you next time. Bye.